Let's get ready for my rant on Dumbo. Fuck. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another review. Oh, sorry, scratch that. This is a rant on Dumbo, the live-action remake. So Dumbo is a live-action remake of 1941's Dumbo, which is a masterpiece, and probably my favorite golden era Disney movie, and is it came out in the year 2019, which poor Frozen 2 is released in the same year as these shitty live-action remakes. Frozen 2 deserves so much better. And it is directed by Tim Burton and is screenwritten by the infamous Aaron Kruger. And it stars Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Eva Green, Alan Arkin, Nico Parker, Finley Hobbins, etc. And so the film tells a story which is nothing like the original, by the way. Tells a story of this family, the Farrier family, Holt, Millie, and Joe, who are pretty much involved with this circus, led by Max Medici. And Max is trying different ways to make his circus stand out, so that his business can run smoothly and better. But then the two Farrier kids, Millie and Joe, discovered Dumbo, an elephant with deformed ears. The kids immediately respect Dumbo, but then everybody else, all the other background main characters, no, not main characters, but background supporting characters, laugh at Dumbo and make fun of his deformities, and yeah, so yeah. And so Max decides to use Dumbo on his show, but then Dumbo gets mocked, and Mrs. Jumbo pretty much wrecks the circus, which led Mrs. Jumbo to be away, which is like one thing that was exactly from the original. But then one day the kids discover that Dumbo can fly, so they make Dumbo fly in the circus to show everyone that he can actually fly. This leads into businessman V.A. Vandermeer, played by Michael Keaton, to bring Dumbo into his show, into his business, where he operates an amusement park, a carnival, and he featured Dumbo on his circus. But one day, then Dumbo discovers that Mrs. Jumbo was taken there alongside other animals and locked in a cage, with other wild animals, and so they discovered that V.A. Vandermeer is actually a typical evil businessman wanting to do shit just for business. And so they must save Dumbo and bring Dumbo back to Mrs. Jumbo, because that's all Dumbo ever wanted, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares, anyways? Yeah. So now I know this seems like a weird time for me to rant on Dumbo, because I'm sure nobody would care. But if you guys are wondering why exactly am I ranting on Dumbo now, it's because this is Tim Burton's previous film. Of course, we got the upcoming Beetlejuice, which you all know. You all know how much I'm hyped for it. I already know that Beetlejuice is going to be the greatest Tim Burton movie ever made, no competition. But believe it or not, guys, Tim Burton has not made a film in 5 years. 5 years, This was Tim Burton's previous film, but he did direct a TV show after, following Dumbo and before Beetlejuice. He did direct a TV show called Wednesday, which is absolute peak. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And yes, guys, I will eventually do a redo review of Wednesday. But yeah. Now Tim Burton is known to be a pretty hit or miss director. He has directed some gems, such as Beetlejuice, which The first Beetlejuice is currently my favorite Tim Burton movie before the sequel comes out. The Batman films, especially 1989's Batman, and he also directed Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood, what else? And Big Fish, and, and a lot more. Oh yeah, Corpse Bride. Oh yeah, and also Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which I thought was pretty decent. Honestly, I wish I was reviewing Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children instead of this. But when it came to me reviewing Tim Burton's films leading out to it. Yeah, but then he did the direct, films that sucked, such as Planet of the Apes, Alice in Wonderland, and my personal least favorite Tim Burton movie, Mars Attacks, which that movie made me want to vomit. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have reviewed some of Tim Burton's movies. Like, I did review Charlie and the Chocolate Factory back then, and did I review the Batman films? I don't remember, but whatever. Yeah, but I decided to tackle up on Tim Burton's latest film, Tim Burton's previous film, in preparation for his new work, Beetlejuice. Yeah, and of course, this is a freaking live-action remake, and everyone knows the reputation of live-action remakes. There was a time where I actually was fine with live-action remakes. I understood why they made it, and I'll admit, I was guilty of, I do feel guilty of, being blinded by nostalgia at one point, but just as a critic myself, upon becoming a critic, yeah, I did realize, the shitty-ass reputation of live-action remakes, and 2019 had a lot of bad live-action remakes. But sure, I will admit that Aladdin is tolerable. I think Aladdin is easily the best live-action remake of 2019. It's not good, definitely, but it is a tolerable live-action remake. It's more average. But then you got pieces of shit like, the Lady and the Tramp live-action remakes. The first straight to Disney Plus movie ever made. We got the unnecessary sequel that is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, a sequel that nobody asked for, and I'm sure everybody forgot about by now. I probably might rant in the Maleficent films this October for Mistress of Evil's 5th anniversary. And of course, The Lion King 2019, which fucking sucks. And I think Mufasa could be even worse. Yeah, man, poor Frozen 2 is released in the same year as them. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I actually prefer Aladdin over Toy Story 4, by the way, yeah, just saying. But yeah, Dumbo definitely falls into that category of these bad live action remakes. And yeah, just based on the title alone, you already know that I hate this movie. But before I get into my research, I just want to give a brief background on my history with Dumbo and my expectations for this film. Now, Dumbo 1941 is my favorite golden era film of Disney. Yeah, if I were to rank every single Disney era film, which I'll admit that I was supposed to do last year in honor of Disney's 100th anniversary, but the plan did backfire as I was way too busy, and I think I had way too many content plans, so I had to remove some content. Including my ranking of the Disney films of every era. But yeah, spoiler alert, the Dumbo is my favorite golden era. Well, technically it's either Dumbo or Pinocchio, but yeah, it goes back and forth between Dumbo and Pinocchio, but definitely one of them for damn sure. But yeah, I love Dumbo. And yes, a live action remake does not make sense. When you hear about it on paper without watching the trailers, yeah, a Dumbo live action remake is a weird choice to make. And not to mention, Tim Burton Tim Burton especially is a weird choice to write a film like Dumbo, because Tim Burton is known for making his creepy, spooky movies, like spooky dark movies, like those movies I just mentioned. Even his Batman movie was dark. Yeah, I don't think Tim Burton would have been questioned for him making Batman, because at least Batman is dark. He's a hero with a dark tone to it. But I gotta admit, the trailer actually did look promising. I actually like the trailer. Okay, maybe because I had a different mindset towards film. Like at the time, maybe if the Dumbo remake came out now, I would have said, "Oh God, this movie's gonna suck." But I admit, the Dumbo trailers actually don't look that bad. I mean, I like the CGI of Dumbo, like I seen it in the trailer, and it just looked good. It looked visually stunning. It looked very Tim Burton-esque. And this was actually my most anticipated of the live action remakes coming this year. Yeah, this was one of my most anticipated live action remakes. No, my most anticipated. Yeah, even over Aladdin and The Lion King. Even though I was actually excited for the Lion King remake at the time, I don't know why. I wish I wasn't. But yeah, of course. Well, the reviews came in and they were bad. Yeah, they were bad, and I saw the movie. Oh, by the way, guys, fun fact: I saw Shazam in theaters first before this film. Yeah, no kidding. Even though this movie came out like a week before Shazam, I actually watched Shazam first in theaters. Yeah, I saw Shazam on the opening weekend, and then I saw Dumbo. I saw Dumbo in like the Monday after. The Monday after, the week of Shazam, because I did not because I did not I didn't have school at the time. And also back in 2019, my dad worked for Disney, but now he resigned because personal reasons. It's a long story, but yeah, my dad used to work at the Walt Disney Company, and in the company they give out free tickets for Disney movies in the second week. So for like the various Disney movies that I wasn't in a hurry to see, with Dumbo being one of them, I would normally wait for a free ticket to watch it. And I certainly watched Dumbo with a free ticket, and yeah, it was definitely worth it. Because yeah, I never liked this movie to begin with. Like this movie literally wasted my time. Now, yes, the only good thing about my experience watching Dumbo in theaters is that it was the only movie where I got the second trailer for Avengers Endgame, which was my most anticipated movie of 2019. Even though my favorite movie that year was, of course, Frozen 2. In fact, I actually did not regret watching Dumbo in trailer, but it was just only because I got the Avengers Endgame trailer too, which at the time I remember calling it one of my favorite trailer of all time. It certainly is one of my favorite trailers of all time. So yeah, and yeah, I know some users did some epic rants in this one, like my good friend Harry Thomas Pictures. He hates this movie with a passion. This is his second worst movie of all time behind The Lion King. Yeah, I don't blame you, Harry. But probably my favorite Dumbo remake related video is Black Critic Guy's rant on Aaron Kruger. The fact that Aaron Kruger wrote this film. Yeah, why Aaron Kruger, by the way? I don't know, and I don't fucking care. Yeah, why Aaron Kruger? Yeah, Black Critic Guy's outburst when he found out that Aaron Kruger wrote Dumbo is absolutely hilarious. Even though, yes, of course, Harry Thomas is a better YouTuber. He's one of my closest friends and one of my favorite YouTubers in general. Yeah, I think Black Critic Guy gets the title for best Dumbo 2019 video. By the way, that title is called the one person who will ruin Dumbo. So yeah, now let's get into my thoughts on Dumbo. And yes, no surprise, it fucking sucks. I mean, yeah, the reviews say it all. This is the worst reviewed live action remake. Well, technically second worst reviewed, with Maleficent Mistress of Evil being the worst reviewed Disney movie of 2019. And I don't blame them, because Maleficent Mistress of Evil is... I mean, I always knew it was gonna suck. Yeah, Maleficent 2 was actually my least anticipated live action, because let's be real here. I mean, I knew that this movie was going to be completely unnecessary. Even though my mom loves that film, I can totally see why. But yeah, seriously, why? Yeah, I can't believe this movie really disappointed me. This is hands down one of the most disappointing live action remakes. Yeah, it could have been one of the better ones, but it ended up sucking. And I'm sucking. Yeah, this movie is fucking elephant shit. So yeah, but admittedly, there are things to like about this film. There are things that I like about this film. For one, I actually like Dumbo's design in this one. Of course, not as adorable as the original Dumbo, but I will say that I do find the Dumbo, this remakes Dumbo to be cute. Well, definitely not the cutest character ever. Like hell no, there are. I can name four. I can name more. I can name far more adorable characters like Envy and Inside Out 2, Star from Wish, Dogpool, and also Bruni from Frozen 2. But yeah, Dumbo certainly does look cute. Yeah. Yeah, his CGI is actually solid. Yeah, I mean it's harmless. Yeah, it's nothing really to complain about. Eva Green was the one decent human character in the film. Even though I forgot she was in the film, yeah. While I was rewatching this film on Disney Plus today, I saw Eva Green's character pop out, and I was like, oh yeah, she's in this film. I forgot. Yeah, that was something. And when you look at this as a film on its own and not a Dumbo remake, the second half of this film, where the setting became that amusement park, was actually not that bad. I will say the amusement park looked absolutely gorgeous. But then again, this is coming from a theme park lover, so especially Disneyland. So yeah, I mean, I just really like the production design of the theme park. It looks really good. Also, the one scene I liked when it came to like a scene that replicates the original Dumbo is the pink elephant scene. Sure, yes, I will admit that it is lazy. The idea of actually using making the dancing elephants just white bubbles and then using pink as a color, it's not making them show up big. It's just flat out lazy, but it's just a nitpick. But actually, yeah. It's just a nitpick because I do like that pink elephant scene. I actually really enjoy it. And Dumbo literally Dumbo swaying his head though with the music is actually adorable. And the score is decent, but it's only because it was composed by the great Danny Elfman, who can do no wrong. But that's all. That's it. For now, let's get into what pissed me off about this film. So yeah, let's rant on my problems with the film. Oh boy, the biggest problem with the film is just the idea alone of a Dumbo remake. Sure, yes, the original. Sure, the trailer did tell you that they actually managed to remake Dumbo. They actually managed to They actually managed to do something that can translate Dumbo to live action. That it actually did give you an understanding of how they actually remade Dumbo. Because let's be real here, it's a weird idea to remake Dumbo, because how can anyone actually imagine a Dumbo remake? Dumbo is a film with barely any major human characters. The human characters, the sole purpose of the human characters in the original Dumbo was just as a plot device to have your people make fun of Dumbo for his ears, but they don't serve as major characters to the story. And also Dumbo has no material for a live action. Yeah, and not to mention, Tim Burton was obviously the wrong choice to direct this film, because Dumbo was meant to be lighthearted, while Tim Burton mostly made dark and spooky films. Sure, he did make Big Fish, and Big Fish was Big Fish was a film about a circus, but that made no excuse. That's no excuse for the context of Dumbo. Heck, even The Greatest Showman would make. Even Tim Burton would be a better fit for The Greatest Showman than a Dumbo remake. And yes, although yes, there were some Burton isms in this film. There were like Tim Burton's signature style, especially in this one like creepy scene where creepy scene with you know, all these wild animals locked up in like the scene where the circus performers were like working together to rescue Mrs. Jumbo from the cages alongside the wild animals, and then we see like the wild animals like attack in like Tim Burton's fashion. But that scene actually felt so forced that Tim Burton was just hammering his work down her throat saying, "This is my movie." Okay, I hear an alarm, but yeah, there's an alarm in the background, but actually, yeah, if you guys are wondering what that is, there's a typhoon in my area right now, so yeah, there's a typhoon. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Tim Burton was just being like, "Hey, guys, this is my movie. This is my movie. So I'm gonna make this dark. I'm gonna spoon feed you guys a dark scene, a dark and scary scene, and you have to deal with it." But the biggest red flag of this movie is the writer Aaron Kruger. Yeah, Aaron Kruger is known for writing shitty movies like Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction, Scream 3, Ghost in a Shell, etc. Okay, yes, I will admit that I don't hate Aaron Kruger as much as I used to. And I'll admit that I do think that Black Critic guy's hatred towards Aaron Kruger has gone a little bit too far, especially in this Oscars 2023 video, his thoughts on Oscars 2023, where he literally slammed the Oscars for nominating Top Gun Maverick for Best Adapted Screenplay just because Aaron Kruger was attached to it, and he was like lashing out, even though he said that Top Gun Maverick was a good movie, and Top Gun Maverick was a masterpiece, yeah, but. And yeah, not all of Aaron Kruger's movies are bad. I love Top Gun Maverick, but at the same time, a part of me feels like Aaron Kruger didn't really contribute 100% contribute to Top Gun Maverick. I like Scream 4, even though he didn't like completely write Scream 4. He didn't fully write Scream 4, unlike Scream 3, but he was involved with the writing of Scream 4, and I like Scream 4. Darker Than the Moon was... I'm still neutral towards Darker Than the Moon, and I still think it's the best best of the Michael Bay Transformers films. And considering that I actually recently found out that Aaron Kruger is going to write F1, the upcoming Joseph Kosinski movie from next year, and honestly, I'm fine with it. Why? Because I think Joseph Kosinski and Aaron Kruger can work well together. I think Joseph Kosinski's direction will save it. And yeah, Aaron Kruger can write the solid movies for the most part. But his writing of Dumbo falls into the same category as his shitty films that I mentioned. Because the script is awful in Aaron Kruger fashion. This makes the same mistakes as Aaron Kruger's Transformers movies, which is focusing on the human characters rather than the child character. This film focuses on the family with Colin Farrell as a main character in over Dumbo, and this family is so dull, especially the daughter played by Nico Parker. And not to mention, the side human characters are some of the stupidest Disney characters ever seen. Like, especially that one bitch. I forgot his name, but he did have a name, but I forgot because I don't give a shit. Basically, this guy, in the scene where the circus audiences were like laughing at Dumbo, this guy was literally went into Mrs. Jumbo's tent and was like, hey Mrs. Jumbo, these kids are making fun of your son. Now I want you to get in the tent and destroy them. What are you gonna do about it? And he caused Mrs. Jumbo to cause an outburst and run into the tent and pretty much like rage. And when Holt, Colin Farrell's character, was trying to calm down Mrs. Jumbo, that same bitch went into the circus and threatened to whip to torture Mrs. Jumbo, causing Mrs. Jumbo to crash the circus. Yeah, it was that guy who wrecked it. That is so stupid. Like, where the fuck is the logic there? In the original Dumbo, it made more sense that the reason why, like how the reason behind Mrs. Jumbo knowing that Dumbo was being mocked for his deformities was through her instincts, not some random guy telling Mrs. Jumbo that. And in reality, he wouldn't care. He wouldn't tell Mrs. Jumbo that they're making fun of Dumbo. And I mean, Mrs. Jumbo probably would have sensed it herself. Yeah, the original animated Dumbo was far more realistic than this version. Oh, and let's not forget Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton, who have been in Tim Burton's films since the 90s. Yeah, Danny DeVito, he couldn't care less about it. He's basically P.T. Barnum done wrong. And V.A. Vanderveer is such a generic villain. He's basically just like every evil businessman who does evil things just for the sake of money and fame. Michael Keaton recently admitted in an interview for Beetlejuice at, I believe, the Venice Film Festival, that he was ashamed of being in this shit. And honestly, I don't blame him, because this is Michael Keaton's worst performance to date yet. Best Michael Keaton performance, Beetlejuice. Worst Michael Keaton performance, V.A. Vanderveer. Who agrees? And not to mention, the film removed some important characters from the original Dumbo, like Timothy Mouse and Casey Jr. in replacement. Oh, and also the crows too, in replacement for a stupid CGI monkey who didn't do shit. And the last point I want to make about this is that it is boring. Okay, well, maybe the second act did keep me awake and my attention go away. Yeah, sure. The narrative, despite some stupid stuff going on in the second act of the film, I will say that it's at least not boring. But the first 45 minutes of the film, oh my god, it is insufferable to sit through. I was so bored out of my mind. In fact, during the first 45 minutes of the film where they were still at Max's circus, I was saying to myself, oh boy, I think this is worse than the Lion King remake. Actually, yeah, the Lion King remake is worse overall. Oh, and also, yeah, that two more things as well, some minor stuff. That baby mine, why? Yeah, like that. Yeah, baby mine, don't you cry? Yeah, like, remember how heartwarming that song was in the original? And it's like, yeah, it really made me shed a tear. But this one, it's done in such a forgettable way. Like, especially with the fact that the instrument is a ukulele. Like, ukulele does not fit with hey man, why don't you cry? And boy, it's not bad, but yeah, it's incredibly boring. Oh, and also there's this one scene in the film that made me so cringe. Remember that guy who said, "Oh, let's get the." Yeah, remember that guy from that famous guy named Michael Buffer, who said that Michael Buffer is paid millions of dollars just to say, oh, let's get right, Rama. Yep. Apparently, Michael Buffer was in this film. Yeah, embarrassing. And he said, let's get ready for Dumbo. And oh my goodness, it made me so cringe. I was actually laughing hysterically based on how cringe it is. Yeah, gosh, poor Michael Buffer. He deserved so much better than to just be in this movie just to say that cringe-worthy parodied line of it. So overall, Dumbo 2019 is just another shitty live-action remake that nobody asked for, proving that live-action remakes are one of Disney's biggest weaknesses, alongside live-action book adaptations such as A Wrinkle in Time, especially Artemis Fowl. Yeah, this is one of Tim Burton's worst movies to date, and this is the second worst Disney live action remake of 2019, behind The Lion King. And I know that there are some people who defend this movie, who say this movie is an underrated gem. Well, more power to you if you like it. But if you think that this movie is better than my precious Frozen 2, then I'm sorry, your opinion will not be tolerated, because saying that shitty live action remakes are better than Frozen 2 is a crime I get in my book. I will not allow anyone to say this or The Lion King or any bad live action remake is better than Frozen 2. So yeah, so with that said, guys, I'm going to give Dumbo 2019 a 1.5 stars out of 5. But guys, hear me out, guys. Don't let Disney live action remakes cloud your judgment on Disney. Disney is still a good studio. The live action remakes just show that Disney is not a perfect studio and they can still make mistakes, but at least Disney still has their animated gems from both Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar. Heck, they made the Frozen 2 later that year. So also for my rant on Dumbo 2019. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the film? Do you think that this movie is underrated, or do you agree with me that this movie sucks? So yeah, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Wednesday, which is obviously much better than. It's obviously far better, miles better than this piece of shit. So yeah, bye guys.